Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Our journey has been steady from the advent. With crystal clear vision, we started off as a news online portal. We subsequently evolved into a magazine, and now on your radio. We do not only bear the name Media House. We practice with the best ethos of our professional calling, presenting facts with objectivity. We are committed and resolute. We are Hallowmace. We are the standard bearers. It's Hallowmace on radio, dedicated to promotion of legislature, democracy, and good governance. It's hot, interactive, educating, engaging, and entertaining. Hallowmace on radio, Tuesday, 10 a.m. on Democracy Radio, 104.9 FM. Hallowmace on radio. Parliament. Brought to the people. Brought to the people.
A very good morning to you and welcome to Hallowmace on Radio on Democracy Radio 104.9. The People's Democratic Party has been in the news for a long time. For some who are watchers of the party, it looks like it is a time of metamorphosis for the PDP. I can pride myself as someone who has followed the PDP since 1999. The story of the PDP today has changed from what it was since 1999. Some say it's for better, others can wager that it's not for good. Well, this morning we're talking about the PDP. Last Saturday, the PDP members turned out en masse in Ibadan, where they held a convention, and that event has left people talking. Some say it was a move in the right direction, while others say it was a trip to futility. This morning we're taking a look at this day about the convention of the PDP. The governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, says it's PDP's turnaround. That's talking about the convention. Well, the now secretary of the PDP, Senator Sam Dadi Nemekanya, who says the PDP convention in Ibadan was a jamboree and illegal. We'll also be taking a look at what the Oyo State chapter of the APC said. It said a carnival of shame and lawlessness. Well, coming from a opposition party, that's understandable. But when you have people who claim to be PDP members talking about the PDP, you want to listen. Now, we'll be taking a look at what the implications of all of this for Nigeria. Well, in the studio, we have Honorable Dr. Chidebe. He is the PDP chairman, Anambra State. Honorable Chidebe, welcome to Hallowmace on Radio.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Right. I hope you understand my opening. it was neither here nor there. But well, maybe you help us understand which direction we're going this morning. Honorable, we'll also be having Chief Dan Obi. Chief Dan Obi is PDP National Vice Chairman, South. But we'll begin with Honorable Dr. Chidebe here in the studio. Dr. Chidebe, what would you say about the Ibadan event that took place last week?
Thank you very much. I think I would like to go back a little because your introduction talked about how PDP has metamorphosized over a period. And the PDP has been a very wonderful party in this country. Some persons are concerned today because of the antecedent of the party. Unfortunately, what is happening today has never happened in the history of the party. What is happening is completely a in contraction or in conflict with the intent and the vision of the founding fathers of our party. These are persons whose intent and purpose was to fight for democracy in this country. Remember, it was the team that fought for this democracy and ensured that we get democracy after the long military rule in 1999. They were the founders of this party, then called G34, which metamorphosized into what we have today as PDP. Is that what we are having today? The answer is completely, well, I will not say no, because the members of the party still remain resolute. Many people are still keen with the vision of the party. Many are still following it. Many are still completely indoctrinated into the vision of the party, which is true democracy, which talks about internal democracy. Unfortunately, the party as it stands today has some individuals that are planted, I will use that word strongly, who are being sponsored by the government in power, manipulated by the government in power to destabilize the PDP. If you talk about PDP family, the structures are intact. Everybody in unison. For instance, I'm a state chairman. I hold meeting with about 34, 31, 32 state chairmen. Will you now say PDP is in disarray because 4 or 3 other state chairmen decided to be bought over by some individuals? The answer is no. It means PDP is still there. Because, look, even Christ, when he came, had 12 disciples. 1 sold out. How much more a family with 1 ton, with millions of membership? Getting individuals to destabilize is always easy. And that is exactly what is happening today. We know them, Nigerians know them, Nigerians see them every day, and we cannot say we don't know what is happening within the party. But for the purpose of this introduction, I must say one thing. The fight going on in PDP today, it is high time the entire nation see it as an attack on democracy rather than an attack on PDP. Thank you.
All right, well, before we continue, let me give out this number so that our listeners can join us if they intend joining us in this program. 0810-885-1189. I take that number again, 0810-885-1189. With me in the studio is Honorable Dr. Chidebe, PDP Chairman, Anambra State. Yesterday, to let you know, Honorable, that we had the Deputy National Legal Advisor, Barrister Okichukwu, on the program. And he was saying that what happened in Ibadan was a charade and that it was against the party constitution and should be discountenanced. And now you're saying that some people allegedly were planted by the opposition to destabilize the PDP. But the PDP is an old party. How come it fell for this gimmick? How come it fell so easily, or it looks like it's falling so easily for this, this trick?
Well, the genesis to Ibadan Convention, the roots. One, this convention ought to have taken place in August, sometime in August. This same set of individuals wanted to scuttle it. The party deferred the convention, agreed to some of their recommendations, tried to pacify them to become one family and to go to Ibadan, or to go to convention in one voice. That is what happened. And when this was done, there are procedures leading to every convention, part of which INEC will be involved. You communicate to INEC, you hold a NEC meeting. It's only a NEC meeting that can decide on a date for convention and give approval to that. NEC meeting is the highest organ of the party next to convention because it's more regular than the convention. In the 101 NEC meeting, this date for convention to Ibadan was fixed. The former secretary, national secretary, was in attendance in that meeting. He was there as the secretary. All these persons speaking today were in that meeting. And that decision was taken. In 102 NEC meeting, the committee was set up. INEC was there. The national secretary was there. Every of these persons who are talking to you today, ask them if they participated in these two meetings. They were all there. A decision taken by NEC can only be overturned by NEC itself or the convention. At what point did they now pull out, and for what purpose? Nothing. But they were part of fixing it. The date for 15th and 16th of November. Ibadan. INEC was there. INEC has a report to that effect. Duly represented. INEC has a report to the 101 NEC and 102 NEC. So issue of communicating to INEC was duly done. They can't say it's not. You may have listened to some arguments going on when the former national secretary claimed that his signature was forged without considering as to whether forged or not forged. That means he didn't write a letter to INEC as required by law. I thought the question would have been, NEC took a decision. It is your duty to write and communicate decision of NEC to INEC. The question should have been, why didn't he write to INEC? Because the issue of writing to INEC is not discretionary. It's a duty. It's a responsibility. In fact, it's a mandatory role for him to play by virtue of his office. It's not discretionary. The Constitution says when an action like this is taken, this person will write. And the same person, after writing the letter, came to the public to say his signature was forged. In the 102 NEC meeting, the governor of Bauchi State, who is the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, announced to us at the NEC meeting where Senator Anyanwu was seated, that all communications to INEC has been fully complied with and done, that the letter has been sent. Senator Anyanwu didn't object it. He was sitting there. But suddenly, after a long while, when they now made up their mind not to participate or to scuttle the convention, the issue of claim, whether he was the one that wrote the letter or not, started coming up. The next, before you know it, they had gone to court to obtain a judgment. Judgment that I don't understand. We all have been in this country, where even the Supreme Court has made so many pronouncements at various times that you don't stop electoral process. You can wait. When you finish, you come. How this court has to stop a convention, because convention is an elective convention. How the judge find it very interesting to issue such order, I don't know. But then there are order and another counter order to that effect, which mandates PDP to go ahead with the Constitution. And that is the law, which I believe that has been the position of the law. That's why, imagine if we begin to have a democracy where on a day of election, a judge can make pronouncement that the election should stop. Then we have, the country is gone. That's a basic precedent that is being put in place. And that's why I say, please, what is happening to PDP today is an attack on democracy, not just on the party. And some of us who are sitting today talking about it, fighting it, it's not for a personal gain. If a governor who has the mandate of the people can wake up and join another political party, who said I cannot do that? Who said any other person who is fighting today cannot do so? We are doing it today because we want to save the democracy. And it's important that this nation wake up and understand every other opposition party is being silenced. And if every opposition party must be destroyed and silenced, I want to know what then is the difference. We all agitated that we want democracy and not military rule. Why were we clamoring for that? It's because we want that minority to be heard. We want their rights to always be enforced. And this present administration is completely derailing from the tenets of democracy. And that's what we are fighting.
Yes, at the Ibadan Convention, a couple of names were read out and the suspension given. But it looks like some of those whose names were mentioned at the Ibadan Convention, we see them active. You know, like for instance, they suspended, according to you, National Secretary Senator Anyanwu, his side is convening a meeting today at the Wadata Plaza. And there's also a stakeholders meeting that was given out. The notice of that stakeholders meeting was given out yesterday by the newly elected members of the NWC. So, what should we expect today? We have seen videos online, you know, maybe unofficially, of some of these people, suspended people, arriving at the Wadata Plaza. So, what do you expect to see today at your official headquarters? What kind of activity?
When people are setting out for an agenda, no matter what you do, they will continue. Especially if the society and the government allows them to continue. Like I said, what is happening today is something that will affect to this nation greatly in a very negative way. Think of it. As at 5 a.m. this morning, check media reports. Samuel Anyanwu was already in Wadata. The question is, can any legitimate meeting be convened at 5? Why is he and his men there at that time of the night? That's the way it is. And we have seen these kind of things on and on, playing out on daily basis. And everybody just believes that it is normal and that it is PDP. Do you know what? Some people make mockery of PDP. And sometimes I laugh. Is it because you have said PDP wasn't good and you could not ask yourself and convince yourself that actually PDP was better? That's the party that inherited a very rotten administration of the military, wherein there is no law in place, who began to build. And progressively we saw Nigeria was moving forward. Check it, 1999 to 2015. Nobody would say Nigeria was retrogressing. Nigerians felt they were not doing that. We were not doing enough at that time, which a lot of concerns. Yes, just like when you have or you are in business and some things are not, you are not making the marginal profit that you expect as a person. Sometimes you feel that the persons who are working are not. But Nigeria didn't understand what and the complex nature of this country and the fight that the various governments were going through and to lead us to where we were. Check our economy, check our everything, all the indices, things were improving. Even our electoral process was improving from worse to, worse situation to maybe bad at that time. But there was improvements in every aspect. Since we changed to APC, tell me any of the indices in Nigeria that you can judge is better today. Not one. Not one. Corruption has tripled. The economy has collapsed. Our electoral process is even more in shambles and all that. But yet, Nigerians could not tell themselves, PDP was actually doing something. It's just that we couldn't feel the result and the impact as expected. And some of those persons are still making mockery. Under PDP, you could see people, check the team that worked for PDP in various ways and at one time or the other. When they finish, they go on international assignment. You can pick numerous of them. How many people from this government can boast of going to take an appointment beyond where they are today? That's the kind of men managing our economy, managing our society, advising the president and all that at that time. We don't have such thing today. PDP remains better for Nigeria. PDP did marvelously well for Nigeria. Unfortunately, some of us didn't feel as much as that, but it's obvious today that this 10 years of APC is more than ever in history of this Nigeria, not even military era.
All right, well, let me give back the numbers again. 0810-885-1189. That is 0810-885-1189. If you call that number, I'll be joining Honorable Dr. Chidebe, PDP Chairman, Anambra State, and myself here in the studio. Now, let me find out from you, Honorable Chidebe, what do you think is the motive of those you allege are being sponsored by the opposition to sink your party?
I'm not in a good position to answer their motive. Their motive is only known to them. But they are all beneficiaries of the party. They all benefited from the party. Whoever they are today were things made to them they were all made by the party. The secretary you made reference to is a senator. He was a senator under PDP. PDP provided him the platform. He was, I think, a local government chairman, PDP. PDP provided him the platform. PDP made him everything he has become. So, the motive is known to them. All those people who are doing this, they have benefited in one way or the other from the party. They are in a better position to tell the Nigerians why they so much hated the same party that made them.
Okay, what would you say about the exodus? I remember the lives of former President of the Senate, David Mark, was there. Quite a lot of your big-timers have left the PDP and moved to other parties. Most of them are seen in the fold of the ADC. Would PDP be able to field, even if this matter is resolved, would PDP be able to field a strong candidate in 2027?
The only reason why they are fighting PDP is because they know PDP has what it takes to field a candidate in 2027. PDP is the only party that has structure in every rural area in Nigeria. Not even APC. I'll give you an example. In Anambra, the governorship election was held recently. PDP did not campaign in any single polling unit, in any ward in Anambra. We did not. It's a matter for discussion for another day. And for reasons of all this crisis that is bedeviling the party, we couldn't produce a credible candidate, and as such, we didn't want to run a campaign in shame. Because the time this form was being sold for that governorship election was the peak of the time issue of who the national secretary would be and would not be. And for that, nobody wanted to buy the form, and nobody agreed to buy the form. Because if you are serious and you want to run for an election, you wouldn't go into such quagmire. Nobody bought form. The young man that took the form, we equally found out that he has and lacked character and credibility. For that reason, we did not participate in the election. But then as a political party, the night before the election, precisely on Friday, the 7th, I called the executive members of the party. I said, just go back to your home. When you get to your home, cast your vote for PDP. The vote simply means we, the executive structures and the structures of the party, are still intact. In as much as we are not participating in the election, just announce to the whole world that the executive structure of the party is intact. That's the 1,400 votes that you saw in the election. One day address moved PDP from maybe it would have been 16 over 16 to 6th position. Imagine if we had campaigned at least in one local government or in one ward. That is PDP for you. The structures are there, solid, intact. Solid and intact. And that's why everybody is apprehensive. The government in power is apprehensive. They don't want the party to know peace. We are praying and we are asking that they should leave the party alone. Going to the issue of President of Senate that left, Atiku that left, they all left because of these same people. They could not withstand them. They could not withstand the kind of character, attitude being displayed in the administration of the party. They couldn't withstand it. Some of us who are there, we are just tolerating. That's why I keep telling you. Who said those of us who are fighting today cannot jump shit and enter into? But, I mean, for how long do we allow this level of impunity to continue in this country? Wherein some group of persons can wake up and decide to dismantle a legitimate body and an institution such as PDP. In fact, it's an aberration, and I don't think some of us will allow that to happen. And that's why we are standing firm, solid, saying PDP must survive.
All right, I am sorry how you feel. If one has to go back to the years 2003, 1999, when PDP held sway, when they had the People's Democratic Institute, when it was clear that the party wanted to build an institution. There was a plan to institutionalize PDP, and then come to this point where the party seems to be struggling to find its feet as a result of what you have said. Do you see a possibility of reconciliation, or do you see this whole thing further sending the party down the drain?
I'll borrow, in answering your question, I would like to borrow a statement from former President Goodluck Jonathan, wherein he said that it is more difficult for you to wake up a man who is pretending to be sleeping than to wake up a man who is naturally sleeping. Why am I saying that? It's easy to go for reconciliation if the offense is a genuine concern, wherein it is a determined agenda. Anything you do about reconciliation is a waste. Otherwise, how come in the last 1 year or more than a year, the whole discussion is centered on a particular group interest? No more than two. One group. Condition being given. One set of individuals who are loyal to one man. For a structure that has more than 5,000 major stakeholders. And only one loyalty group is the problem. And all effort to reconcile has proven abortive. As I said, this convention ought to have taken place in August, but was deferred to allow for reconciliation. What did we achieve? Nothing. Even when it seemed as if they were complying, which led them to come for next meeting of 101 and 102 as part of bargain, thinking that they will. At the end of the day, the whole action, the whole decisions were taken. What did we get? Midway, everything was, they ran away and continued with their same agenda. There is already an agenda, and nobody can stop it. So if you want to go for any reconciliation, I don't see it happening. But if it happens, it will be the greatest thing for us, members of the party.
Well, let me digress a little bit. Talk about defections from the PDP to the ADC. I mean, to the APC and other parties. Just recently, Senator Aline Dume was quoted to have said that those who are defecting from the PDP to the APC are people, wetlet politicians, just to put it mildly, saying that they are not strong enough, and that if the APC does not, stand firmly, that those who are defecting into it may lead to its downfall. What's your take on this?
Well, I don't like describing anybody as featherless. People have their strength in diverse ways. But then, defection is a choice. That's one good thing with political parties. It is one organization that has free entry, free exit. You wake up today, you want to belong here, you join. You wake up the next day, you want to exit, you exit. You owe nobody any apology. You don't even write an application. And that's why sometimes when Nigerians talk about political parties having not manifesto. Ideology. You begin to wonder, how can an organization that does not have screening process, that does not, that is not expected to, there is no criteria, no basis for joining, anybody can join. How can such an organization have an ideology? And again, an organization where you measure growth majorly for political party by the number of membership. That's the highest determinant factor to the strength of a political party and what a political party is. So how can such have an ideology? The only thing that guides a political party is manifesto. This manifesto is developed within time to serve a particular purpose at a time, wherein you now sell to the people what you intend to do under these circumstances as it is now. That should suffice, and that was it should be. Because a political party is to study a society, look at it, know what the society wants, draft a way they want to manage the situation, and sell to the public. If the citizens find it more credible and more better, they can vote that political party. But for a political party to have tailored ideology, no, society evolves, and there cannot be, stiff ideology for any political party. So that is the issue about that. I don't know, you mentioned something about defection, no?
Yes.
For people that are defecting.
Yes.
Well, I don't have any problem with them. It is their choice. But I can tell you for sure, the party did nothing, and absolutely nothing against them. If they feel that what they are doing is the right way to pay the party, fine, so be it. But every one of them is being driven by selfish agenda. APC, where they are going, well, by the time everybody gathers there, the implication is that there will be conflict of interest, which will happen. And when it happens, definitely the party will still, PDP will still benefit from the fallout. Or if, as for whether it will happen, it will surely happen.
So what goes around comes around. Is
what goes around comes around.
So that is in line with what Senator Dume is saying that at the end of the day, some of these names will get back to the... But let me find out, from the southeast where you come from, there's no longer a PDP state, but it used to be the stronghold of the PDP. And, all of that, right now, what we have now is the southeast where maybe only Abia State can be said to be the Labour Party is in Abia.
Abga in Anambra.
Abga in Anambra, that's right. So no PDP. But that used to be the stronghold. Abga was the only party that challenged the PDP in southeast. But now the Labour Party is there and there's no PDP state officially. Are you not worried by this?
Well, I'm not too worried. It's part of the challenges the party is going through. The last exit was that exit of the governor of Enugu State, which was a very big challenge. But then, his reasons are not well known. I cannot point out what the reason. Because if you go to Enugu, he has massive followership. People believe in him and all that. The Southeast believe in PDP. And the structures has been punctured. That is because they know that the party is solid in the region. If all things goes well, PDP will surely recapture those environments because our people believe in PDP till today. Just like I told you, imagine telling members of state executive who are not benefiting kobo. That last election in Anambra was monetized, was a money bag election. I don't know if you are getting my point. Ask all the journalists, ask all the, you can see the report of various observers.
There was vote trading, is that what you mean?
Yes, they were buying vote clearly everywhere. All you see is the much you can buy. So imagine 1,400 members of executive saying, go to hell with you. This is the kind of character that remain in the party. And that's what we are looking for. Like we keep telling them, we say, look, if we are 10, let's be 10. So that by the time we go out to campaign to people, to the citizens, they will know that, yes, these are the characters that we are looking out for. And they can believe in us. They have always believed in us. And I know if this government allows PDP to thrive, PDP will bounce back and will take over power.
There has been an argument over whether it was mandatory for INEC to monitor the Ibadan convention or not. Some people said, according to the Electoral Act, the Act says that INEC may, that it was not mandatory for INEC to oversee or supervise the Ibadan convention, while others think that INEC's presence in that convention would have further given it credibility. But you talked about INEC being aware and being present during the 101-102 next meeting of the party. So would you say, what role do you think, INEC has a new head, what role would you advise INEC to play going forward, in the event of having issues like this?
Well, for me, the new INEC chairman came at a very complex time. Complex in the sense, without any this thing, I must tell you that the past INEC chairman, did a great disservice to this nation. And that's why we are where we are today. It's very unfortunate. And the new man has a role. He came at a very complex time. I pity him. But then, under the Electoral Act, political parties have that you are expected to communicate to INEC for any meeting, not just convention, for any meeting where matters that will affect officers of the party will be taken. A decision as to who an officer of the party must be. Party is mandated to write and communicate to INEC. The question is, did PDP do that? The answer is yes. Did they transmit a letter? The answer is yes. Funnily, they don't even need to. Because INEC themselves participated at the meeting where the decision was taken in 101. And their own report, of which the party has their own report, clearly stated that date has been fixed for Ibadan Convention. 102, which the party has the report, is available, clearly states that the committee has been set up for the Ibadan Convention, which they were part of. But without that, or without even waiting, Formal letter was also written to them. Their failure to come is their own. But then, under the Electoral Act simply said, communicate. That is the duty of the party. INEC may decide to attend or not attend. And Supreme Court has given judgment severally. Failure to attend by INEC does not invalidate any congress or convention of any political party, as long as the party was able to fulfill their own obligation and mandate. But like we are in this country, many of us believe that part of the problem of this country is the judiciary, wherein technicality has become the order of the day in our jurisprudence, not substance. That's why issue of precedent, you no longer rely on it. Otherwise, there are plethora of cases where the judiciary has pronounced that failure of INEC to participate means nothing, as long as the party was able to fulfill their own parts and obligation. But let's see how it turns out before the court tomorrow or whenever the matter comes up. That is what we know, and that is the law we know. If they now chose again, like we know, to go through technicalities, it's left for them. But that's not good also for our democracy. If you fail to deal with the substance at all times, trying to deal with technicalities on matters that concerns the nation, then you are not building an institution. Because technicality, laymen may not always want to understand or know what they want to know. This thing happened this way the other time. Supreme Court said so thing. How come they are saying a different thing? So it's important that they should de-emphasize or give less attention to this issue of technicalities that is now becoming the order of the day in deciding cases at the court, and deal with facts in issue. In fact, if there is a violation, a technical violation or whatever thing, they can fine, but they should still deal on the subject matter, so that we understand that black is black, white is white. Thank you.
All right, you have described, as we begin to wrap up, you have described what is happening in PDP or to the PDP as an attack on democracy. Well, a lot of people will agree with you that could be true that democracy. But my question is, there was a plan for a coalition. That was when the ADC came up, and there was people were looking at the likelihood of the PDP and ADC forming a very strong coalition to probably withstand the pressure from the ruling party. With the state of the ADC now, do you see the opposition, which your party should be leading, surviving before 2027?
There are some persons that you don't consider working with sometimes. Coalition is good. Coalition is just like partnership, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to partner with me. You need to bring up what you're bringing to the table. I will bring what I'm bringing to the table. PDP wants to come to coalition with 6 governors, 100 and something House of Reps members, numerous House of Assembly, 30-something senators. What are you coming with? I wonder what kind of coalition is that? These are characters that has refused to submit to the party. They always want where they will be in charge. And let me tell you, there were the same people, the same crop of people that destabilized PDP in 2013, 2015, 2014 to 2015. The former president, vice president, who is now in ADC. Remember, was the one that led PDP 5 governors out of the convention in August 2013 and formed a parallel structure that destabilized the party and gave room for this APC to emerge today. He has not realized his mistake. Instead of fighting for the same party with which he ran an election just last 2 years, instead of fighting for the soul of the party, he's interested in a party that will give him tickets. I can't work with such a person. It's all about him, not about the party, not about the people. Is he El-Rufai, who was made by PDP? You can name them. These were the persons who fought the party previously. Now, if you no longer find it convenient in that your new alliance, which was APC, couldn't you have come back like prodigal son and say, Father, forgive me, and maintain your home and your house? They still want to polarize the party by creating a parallel or another political party. The more, let me tell you, the more you create political parties, the more you weaken opposition in Nigeria. And so it is in every other clime. When you come to any society where there is no strong political parties, then it will be very difficult for the ruling party to ever be defeated. So this party is very important, and we are dealing with it, and we remain with PDP. It is better for us. If they want to form an alliance or coalition, they should come back home. That is the simple thing to do, and the most honorable thing for them to do.
All right, 0810-885-1189 is the number through which you can call. I'm sure a lot of people are listening to us, maybe very interested in what Honorable Chidebe is saying. But you can still call us and give your view and let us know what you think. Now, 0810-885-1189. Now, Honorable Chidebe, you talk at the state level of your party. You are still meeting with people. You talked about a meeting of about 34 state chapters chairmen. So, why is there homogeneity? Why is there unity at that level and then crisis at the upper level?
Even at the upper level, there's no crisis.
Okay.
The structures of the party are there. For instance, issue of BOT. The BOT members are known. Do you just wake up and say there is a new BOT chairman? How? Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
And some people just woke up and appointed a new BOT chairman. Just like 4 people met in a room and appointed another person, say that he's now the acting chairman. It's just like me and you sitting in this studio and take a drastic decision that this is not the new chairman and start calling him the new chairman of society. Does that mean that body is divided? I don't think so. We still know the chairman of BOT, we know the secretary of BOT, we know the members of BOT. Just like state chapters are known. And this state chairman, we meet regularly, we discuss, we interact, and we are in one voice. That you have pockets of them, like from Abia, like from Imo, who are already bought over to sabotage the party. How come? How do we? For instance, a man from Abia will wake up one morning, go to television, say he's chairman of Abia. And he's talking about how there is no proper executive in Anambra. He doesn't even have jurisdiction to discuss Anambra matter. I think it's Anambra people that will tell you whether they have chairman or they don't have chairman. How come it's Imo, Abia that will go to television to say that there is no legitimate executive in Anambra? It's only such character, such group that you see such behavior, such attitude. If we want to discuss Anambra matter, ordinarily, the way political parties run, it is Anambra people that should discuss Anambra. Imo should discuss Imo. Abia should discuss Abia. They don't have it. They don't have members. They don't have numbers. Because they don't have members from Anambra who will speak for them. They decided to. But it's very unfortunate. So, for us, we are united. We are good. Our prayer is the government should let us be. The judiciary should allow the party to run. Convention is the highest organ of the party. The convention has spoken, taken a decision. Allow the party and the decision of the convention to go on. For Nigerians that watch the convention, you cannot fault that convention by any means.
Well, I wagered with a friend last week before the convention who said, look, watch out for the PDP after 2027. He didn't say before 2027. He's saying his argument is that a lot of these people who are going to the APC will file back to the PDP. So I urge you, your party, to also maybe begin to erect a stronger platform, because so that you can welcome back those that are left. I mean, to other parties. Could that be said to be a salutary comment from my side?
PDP is a home for every Nigerian who is ready to go under the umbrella for purpose of internal democracy. And every man is welcome back. Every woman is welcome into the fold. If you truly love Nigeria, join PDP. Work with us. It's the only party that does not have defined ownership. Tell me who in PDP that you wake up and you say if he's not in PDP, PDP will go. Tell me. I can tell you if Ashwaju is no longer in APC, today APC will collapse. If Soludo decide not to be in APGA tomorrow, APGA will go. Since Peter Obi left Labour or is silent about Labour, what is Labour? You mentioned what is his name? The governor of Abia. If he leaves Labour, that's the end of Labour. Tell me one man that you know that if he leaves PDP today, that PDP will collapse. That's to tell you the strength of PDP in Nigeria. We are the only party that believes truly in internal democracy. We are upholding it. We are entrenching it into the fabrics of this country. And we believe that with the support of Nigerians, PDP will come back even stronger than ever before. Thank you.
All right, Honorable Chidebe, PDP Chairman, Anambra State, we want to thank you for being on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And if you're out there listening to us, it's been a wonderful time with Honorable Chidebe, who is taking us through the story of the People's Democratic Party. Well, if you couldn't call us this time, do call us again when we come on the program next week. It's been your regular host, Anayo Akwiti. And here's thanking Anderson Usebe, Director of Hallowmace Africa, for being on the show, and Chukwunonso Arize for being my sidekick on today's show. Once again, Honorable Chidebe, we thank you and we wish you and your party well. Like I said, prepare the platform, like my friend said. Maybe there will be a return of the people that left today, tomorrow. Have a great day, our listener, and God bless you.
Those against the nay, the eyes have it.
Our journey has been steady from the Advent. With crystal clear vision, we started off as a news online portal. We subsequently evolved into a magazine, and now on your radio. We do not only bear the